Hello my dear students, we are discussing about different methods of analysis of complexes and in this presentation I am going to discuss with you about the solubility method. So in my previous video already I have listed out what are all the methods of analysis. Again I am repeating: method of continual variation, pH titration method, distribution method, solubility method, spectroscopy method. So 5 major methods are involved, and also it includes other methods. We can call them as miscellaneous methods. And now here I am going to discuss with you about solubility method. According to this method, we are utilizing excess quantity of drug. Okay, here we are treating more or excess quantity of drug that is treated with the complexing agent at various concentration. Okay, we are utilizing a well stopped container, that is well closed container. In that well closed container, we are utilizing excess or more quantity of drug along with complexing agent at different concentration. Okay, after that we have to agitate the bottle. Okay, the bottle is shaked well by means of using constant temperature bath. So this agitation to be done until the equilibrium is reached. After attaining equilibrium, we have to collect the supernatant liquid and we have to analyze. So very simple procedure. We are taking excess quantity of drug, to that we are adding different concentration of complexing agent. Then we are doing agitation. Agitation should be done in a constant temperature bath. So how long the reaction to be carried out? Until it attains equilibrium. After equilibrium, we have to remove the supernatant. Then we have to analyze. This method was utilized by Higuchi and Latch. These two were the scientists who investigated the complex formation of PABA by caffeine. So PABA is nothing but para-aminobenzoic acid with caffeine. So now we can see in detail what happens during the complex formation of PABA by caffeine. So the curve can be obtained like this if we treat PABA and caffeine. So at the initial we can see x-axis and y-axis. X-axis we are taking molar concentration of caffeine. Y-axis we are plotting molar concentration of PABA, para-aminobenzoic acid. While treating these two together, we supposed to get three different curve areas. In the picture you can able to see A, B, C. So three different curves are obtained. So A is nothing but the solubility of PABA, simply the solubility of para-aminobenzoic acid in water. Okay, so from the point A, what happens? You can able to see there is an increase in curve area. Okay, which is nothing but the solubility of PABA increases by means of adding caffeine. If we increase the concentration of caffeine, the solubility of PABA increases. That's why there is an increase in curve area at the point A. After A, what happens? Then you can able to observe a plateau. Plateau means a straight line. Okay, a flat surface. So here it reaches the saturation point. It reaches the saturation point. And again, after that again you can able to observe another plot area C. Here what happens? All excess solid acid is getting converted to a complex. Okay, and finally after reaching a decrease in curve, again there is a slight increase in curve which owes to higher complex formation. So this is the thing that happens when we are treating PABA with caffeine. And again I have explained here about the three different plots. So point A shows the solubility of drug in water. By the addition of caffeine, what happens? The solubility of PABA rises because of complex formation. And second one at point B. Point B, what happens? The solution gets saturated. Why saturation occur? Because of complex formation and also because of the concentration of drug. There is a saturation. And again, after saturation also, the complex continues to form and it precipitates the saturated system by means of adding more caffeine. Okay, so since we are adding more and more amount of caffeine, what happened? The complex continues to form. And now comes at point C. So at point C, what happens? All excess solid are passed into solution, and from there it is getting converted to a complex, and from there it is getting converted to a complex. And again, some of the PABA remains uncomplexed in solution. So these uncomplexed PABA, further it combines with caffeine to form higher complexes. This higher complexes, we can name them as PABA2 caffeine complex. So this PABA2 caffeine complex is nothing but, if you look into the graph, at C portion, initially we are getting a decrease in curve. And again there is a slight increase. So this represents PABA2 caffeine complex. Okay. And now comes the complex formation equation. So the complex formation equation can be written as PABA plus caffeine gives PABA caffeine complex. So for this 1:1 complex, we can write stability constant as follows. K is equal to concentration of PABA caffeine complex divided by concentration of PABA into concentration of caffeine. Okay, so from this equation, the concentration of complex is equal to total acid concentration minus solubility of the drug in water. Okay, what is the concentration of complex? Total acid concentration minus solubility of drug in water. Whereas the concentration of caffeine in solution is equal to how much caffeine we are added to the system minus how much amount of caffeine converted to complex. Okay, so very simple thing, we can able to determine the analysis, or we can able to determine the complex formation by means of using solubility method. So this method is described by means of using PABA caffeine complex. Also, here I have given few examples based on the distribution method, or we can call solubility method. Distribution method already I discussed in another video. It is also called as partition method. By means of using distribution or partition method or solubility method, many scientists, they found out the stability constant for various complexes. Here I have given few examples. So these are all the compounds which can able to form complex with caffeine. Say for example, picric acid with caffeine, the stability constant is 8. For acetyl salicylic acid, the stability constant is 15. For salicylic acid, the stability constant is 40. For butyl paraben, the stability constant is 50. For para-hydroxybenzoic acid, the stability constant is very high, which is greater than 100. Okay, so this is how we can able to determine the complex by means of using solubility method. Thank you all. Thank you once again.